Don't you know that the music should be solid?
Okay.
Is it cold where you are with the sweatshirt on?
No, it's not. But I must say, Theo, I just got off my pedal bike, not my vroom vroom Harley style pedal. And so I'm all dripping, sweating, and I've got my hoodie on and my hair's a fucking mess. And my teeth are still not fixed, but it will be today. No, listen. No, man, no shower for Kimbo. You're fucking whipping me. Gotta go.
That's where you're at. You're at the point where you care so little about how they see you that you're coming straight from the gymnasium.
No, the outside gymnasium, not in, out, pedal bike.
Oh, you were outside on it. Got it. It's not like one of those Peloton things.
Yeah, no, outside pedal around the block, around my neighborhood.
Getting the heart rate up.
Till, my name is Till.
Do you wear a helmet?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
We were just discussing this because like I grew up not wearing a helmet on a bike and my kids, ride the bike on the property, right? And my wife like, will run out, get the helmet on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they're fine. It's right here. And she's like, if they fall. And I was like, oh, we're born in like different eras. Like I never wore a helmet, but I do understand, but like, I didn't wear a helmet.
No, I never wore a helmet ever, but I do now at my age in LA,
Oh yeah.
You got to wear it.
And you're riding like with traffic and stuff.
Traffic. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the whole thing. Do you wear like spandex and all that?
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. The balls are sucked right up to the inner thigh. No, I don't do any of that.
Toward the Canada?
Yeah. Toward the Canada.
Toward the Saskatoon.
Oh, spandex.
Spandex.
Yeah. No.
People used to wear spandex for like as like a thing. Like they go to gym in spandex back in the day. With neon colors.
Not me, ever. Do you remember oh my God, I'm so glad I remember this. You were the first guy to have those long socks, those
the ones for the circulation. Yeah.
Yeah. To help your circulation. Yeah, and I wear them on planes all the time. When I get up, but I'm ready. Oh yeah. Ready to run.
Oh yeah. I would love to do an 80s movies as an 80s movie as like an aerobics instructor who wears like, have a mustache, like do like the whole like spandex neon.
Yeah. You'd be great at that.
That'd be great. Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. We're doing this right now. I'm working with someone on this story set in 1987 and it's man, it's incredible. Like I spend most of my days watching like commercials from 87 and researching 1987 and what a year it was. Wow. I got to tell you.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I didn't know it was actually about 1 year. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. 1987. Yeah. Wow, man. It's an amazing time. And the fashion is unbelievable. And just like the what was going on and what you realize is like everybody, and we've done this, right? Every year you go, man, this year, look at all this shit going on. And then you go like research another year and you go, yeah, a lot of shit going on in that year too. And a lot of shit going on in this year. There's never been a year that you can research that it wasn't, it's just different shit, but like still heavy duty shit, right? Like,
okay, so how old were you in 87?
I was 12.
You were 3. You were 12.
I was 12. Yeah.
Okay, so 87 for me.
You were 45.
Was the year I was 45. God, I look good for my age. That was the year right after Stratford, right after playing Macbeth. I was 26 years old. Wow. And all those New York agents saw my work. And when we wrapped that tour of Macbeth, when we went to the States with it as well, we were done like January, February 1987. I went right to New York. And that's where it all started to percolate.
So no green card. But you weren't living in Saskatoon to New York. You were somewhere else. You were in Toronto.
Yeah. When I graduated Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan, I went right to Toronto. Signed on with Gary Goddard, big agent. He's gone now, but yeah. And then
do people still come? Like New York people watch shows in Canada still, like in Toronto? They do.
They go to Stratford. They go to Ontario, which is outside of Toronto. The Shaw Festival and the Stratford Festival are the two biggest festivals in North America. They're massive. 4 big theaters per festival. COVID's kind of fucked it up the last couple of years. It's
Yeah.
fucked it up for theater everywhere, but it is starting to come back now.
So
which
then
I'm
they
really happy.
watched you do Macbeth.
Yeah.
You're looking slim, trim, ready to Kim, and you're ready to go.
Tomato creeps in this pit. No, I didn't do it that way. I swear to God.
So then you go to New York and you got no money. You're
Had a
like,
little bit, but not tons, but I had a little. And yeah, man.
Had you been
Before
there?
I met Matt Craven, I'm staying with an agent. Then she got me a little apartment. I sublet for a minute and a half. And then I get, Miami Vice with Don Johnson.
wow.
Then I get my SAG card. And then, oh my God, I'm going to Atlanta. I'm playing Dracula.
Wait. Hold on. I'm confused. So did you know, have you been to New York before that?
Yeah.
Oh, you had been.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you got Miami Vice in New York. Were they,
Yeah.
and it was shot in Miami or shot in LA?
Bonnie Timmerman cast it. The great
Love
agent.
Bonnie Timmerman.
Yeah, Bonnie's my girl, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
I love Bonnie.
Black Hawk
She's
Down.
passed me a bunch.
She's great. Yeah. So she's the one who said, wait a minute. Blue eyes, bit of talent there. Let's give him Miami. What? I went to Don Johnson 3 days, cracked my head open.
And
got paid.
that's when
Blue
Miami
bag.
Vice was like, woo,
On fire.
On fire. Philip Michael Thomas,
Yeah, man.
Don Johnson. So you go do Miami Vice. That's your first thing?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I paid for a lawyer to get me a visa to work in the States. I got paid for doing the show. I joined SAG, and at the end, I made $18.56. And my dad always used to say, "That's the best $18.56 you've ever made."
Fred knew.
Yeah, Freddie, he nailed it. Best $18 you've ever made, son. And he was right.
How long till you worked the next? Right after that?
Pretty quickly. I did Dracula in Atlanta. Then I came the play. Then I came back to Toronto and did Lie of the Mind, Shepard's Canadian opening of Lie of the Mind with Susan Wright and John Moffat and all the
You
kids.
went back to Canada to do that.
Yeah. And then I went right back to America to play Stanley Kowalski on Broadway.
Oh, so you went from Miami Vice to do a lot of theater.
Yeah.
What was your next TV or movie?
I did a couple of Canadian movies. I met Matt Craven and Dean Stockwell and Kim Cattrall and Palais Royale. What are you, my agent? Do I have to go over this shit?
I'm curious. I didn't know. And Matty Craven's not from Canada.
He is. He's Canadian. He's from Ontario.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
That's why we're tight.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's wild. And it's so funny because 87. So 87 is a significant year for Kim.
No. Theo, when you continue to do your research, because I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
the peeps are going to be so excited for you. You need to talk to me and my people. And we'll go over 87, man, because it was big year for me.
Oh, awesome. I love that. All right. Well, guess what? I'll tell you what else was a big year, I'm going to say, or a big episode. This is the first one in a long time that Juice and Tig actually have stuff to do in the same episode. Yeah. Clap it up.
Clap it up.
Can I tell you something, by the way, what dawned on me while I was running this morning? Because sometimes I actually do give this podcast some thought. This is what I thought about. Tig and Juice have role reversed. Tig is funny. He's lighthearted.
Funny episode.
He's funny. He's kind of just taking it as it goes. Kind of innocent now, chilling. All that other stuff's behind him. Juice is in dire straits.
No, you're so right. You're a Tig Junior now.
Yeah, we've flipped positions.
We've flipped completely.
There's no comedy in Juice's world.
No.
There's no drama in Tig's world.
Poor Nico. I abused him in this fucking episode.
And I can't wait to talk about it. Yeah, there's one scene in particular, and it's not the one you're thinking about that I can't wait to talk about. So let's get to this. We wake up with Jackson Teller, and here he is sleeping. And what do we notice right away? Bed's empty, right? I know you've been there, Kim. Bed's empty next to him.
So often. I can't even count on both my hands and my toes and my feet.
How many times you've looked to the side and said,
empty.
Bed's empty. Yeah. Hold on. You talk. I'm going to fix this camera.
All right. I'm going to keep talking. First of all, and you always forget about it, but I'm going to bring it up. Previously on.
Oh, I don't watch them. That's why.
I know. We know that. You don't have to tell the people. We know
Sure.
that. So I know we don't.
I'm just trying to get through the episode.
I know you are, but I got to tell you, Jury makes an appearance on the previously on. It's a jury episode from 14,000 years ago. Jury, to remind people, oh, wait a minute.
You know what episode he was in?
Maybe Jury's going to come back on this one. Well, guess what? He does. Anyway.
What episode was he in, Kim?
Jury? Famous
episode for me and you.
Oh, it was the Arizona dog run. It was the dogs in the ass.
Pacho.
Pacho.
Yeah. You know what that was?
Yeah.
Me and you. Dogs in the ass.
Dogs in the ass, and the coke and the crack and the crank.
The beginning of a drop ball.
It was the beginning of a drop ball.
My God.
Never to be picked up again.
No, they should have ran with those two forever. Stupid.
Okay. Anyway, but hang on, one more thing. So at the end of previously on, Charlie fork in the head, and I'm going uncalled for. Why would I need to see that again?
I'll show that again.
We just should have ended it on that. We didn't need to go through anyway.
They showed the whole thing.
The whole thing didn't need.
Stupid. Nobody needs to see that again.
All right, Jax is sleeping. Go ahead.
All right, so Jax is sleeping. He's staring at the spot. There's no Tara. It's not good for anybody, right? You could tell that he's kind of distant. He's in that place, and then, and I got a little excited by this. He's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. And then guess who else is smoking a cigarette?
Juice smoking a cigarette.
Do you remember doing that, Theo?
No, I don't. And I'm going to tell you something that I thought about. It cuts to me having the cigarette. This is a theme. And then it cuts to Gemma having the cigarette. Right?
All three of them I got. Yeah.
Right. And I got to tell you, that was the three that they did. And it felt really good to like be in the storyline of like the show. Like that's cool.
No, it's so cool. We've talked about this before, but those montage beginning, montage ends. I mean, honestly, when they threw in the other stars like you, me, Tommy, Booney, Ryan, it was just so nice.
Feels good.
The three of you and you smoking, bro.
Oh man,
I haven't seen. Forget about Theo smoking, but I haven't seen that for so long.
And those herbals taste like the other side of dog shit. They are horrendous. Like horrendous. Herbal cigarettes are horrendous.
No, they're horrendous for sure.
Horrendous. So I did that, but also Unser's in the bath. Dayton was not happy about being in there. I know that. That was like even whatever scene he was in the bath, he was not happy because he just didn't want his knees up. He was uncomfortable. And I kept making it worse. I was like, listen, I need you to put these on for real. The cups. I need to see it. And he was like, what? I'm like, I need to like believe it.
I would have told him, they're actually fucking paying you, old man, to be here. So shut up. Put the cuffs on, put the tape over your mouth and let me do it. And I would have been one of these, Theo.
Oh, I was messing with him so bad.
Sure you were.
So then we go, Wendy walks in and says hello to the parents, right? And they start talking about Abel's education. And this is kind of a moment where you're going to see, is Gemma up to this task? She's always wanted to be in charge of the boys. And it's like, there's more than like handing them to crow eaters and like TM.
Oh my God. She did. She paused too and everything. The writing, it paused her. Like now that you've completely killed their mother, and you're screwing everything up for everybody. Guess what? You got some responsibility you keep talking about that you're ready for, and you want family. Well, she pauses like a drug addict. Like what?
Yeah. What? And she's not ready for it.
Not ready at all.
Find out she's not. I never noticed any of this when we were doing the show.
No. That's why we're doing these reviews, Thea.
Yeah, exactly. Nero says he's going to drive her.
Yeah.
That's going to lead to one of the longest scenes in Sons history, but I'll get to that in a minute. Jesus Christmas. Okay. So then they say there's a new sheriff in town, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we cut to my favorite part of the episode, Rat and Tig, and the relationship between you is starting, which kind of started already at that when you guys went to that white supremacist house and like shot them out. That was kind of the beginning of it, right?
Yeah, that was our first real, I was called Frank White, and this is my son. Yeah. And then I called him, and you could say this back then, but he's just sort of retarded. Don't listen, you can say it. And it was just a funny fucking thing at that.
And that was a long time ago. That's a couple of seasons.
That was a couple of seasons ago, yeah.
And then they kind of got away from that. And that was something where they kept in their back pocket, like how they never revisited Juice and Tig. They decided to go back in on this one. Okay. So after that, we see that their relationship's starting. Juice grabs the knife and he goes to answer. And again, we wanted to do it where, is he going to stab him? Everybody knows he's not going to stab him. Everybody knows he ain't going to do anything with that knife. But he goes, cuts it, walks out, and they're going to
hang on. Yeah, but let's not rush that, because there's a moment there when Unser, again, him and Nero are the two, pinies now of giving counsel to the youngin.
Oh, yeah. Talk, I don't want to rush that talk.
Let's not rush the talk.
No. But one thing I want to say about that talk that you and I had wrong, we like to admit when we're wrong.
Yeah, all the time. I'm wrong all the time.
He did have keys to the apartment. He says before he sits down, well, what are you doing here? Because I know the only people who have keys are me and Gemma, and Wendy's away. So he didn't pick the lock. We were thinking like he picked the lock to get in with the bag and stuff. We said something like that last week. Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, that's right. He had keys. Good for him. God bless. God bless America.
But now he talks about old Juice keeps talking about old sins.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I remember doing that scene. And I remember one thing really specific about that scene. And you and I have talked about this, but it happened so much. That was one of those days where the scene was at the end of the day, right? And whoever
did you feel rushed?
Well, I'm going to tell you, whoever was working prior went like 4 hours over. You know what I'm talking about.
I so know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It went like 4 hours over. And I was just in the Winnebago in the trailer waiting. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I get to do a scene with Unser. We haven't done a scene since I tried to throw the urine on him in like whatever it was, season 3 or whatever.
With the Coca-Cola outside the Telemundo. That was funny.
Yeah, or season 2 when I was like a beefhead. Yeah. And I was excited.
By the way, you're looking very beefy in here too. Nice muscle.
I was a little beefy.
You and Charlie were all like fucking muscled out.
Yeah, a lot of push-ups. Yeah. And I remember they were like, hey, listen, it was one of those where like, hey, we're going to set the scene up. We got 2 angles, whatever, but like max 3 takes. And I was like,
Billy Gerhardt directed this, by the way.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I really wanted to try some different things and like see where it goes and see. And no, we just got to get it. And it's like, and that's when you kind of feel so defeated. You're like, well, how about you don't tell me and you just know that, but you don't tell me it because now it's kind of fucking with me. Like that I know I don't really have a lot of takes. And Dayton, he doesn't want to do any more than he needs to do.
He'll do one and he's good.
He'll do one and he's good. And I'm like, let's do it 400 times Kubrick style, Fincher style, like keep going. But so point is, I just remember that scene feeling very unsatisfied by it, but you
couldn't tell it all. Couldn't tell it all. It actually worked out really well between the two of you. You're not going to kill him though. That's not happening.
Yeah. Well, then he does the biggest thing at the end. He asks if he wants his help.
Well, and then I wrote that down. He offers him help. Like Unser's there to help everybody now until you fuck him around to the point where he goes, I ain't helping you no more.
That's right. He's pining.
Yeah.
He's piney. Nero's piney. Like somebody had to fill that void. Bobby's got piney. They basically divided piney up into like 3 characters.
I think you're right.
Right. And then the question is
big
like,
man, William Lucking in that little.
Yeah. And then Chibs kind of became like some of Opie.
Sure.
Yeah. They had to do something with those two. I mean, they probably should still be around, but whatever. What do I know? Okay. Tig is watching the truck.
Yeah.
And now we have this whole thing, which by the way, was probably one of the few times in a long time, if that makes sense. A few times in a long time that I felt we didn't force the humor. It came naturally.
No, it was all natural there that day. Yeah. We had.
Tell me about that.
Well, poor Nico. I mean, he literally had no shot or say on anything. He was going down when I put him down. He was staying down until I let him up. And that whole shit, are you actually hard? That was all written. Sutter wrote all that shit with Charles, I think.
So good.
And it was just, and the look on my face, come on. The humor, that was as much Kim Coates laughing as it was Tig at that.
And then they got the camera down on his face. Like that was such a great angle by Billy because it wasn't just you when he drops out of frame. They wanted to show his face.
Yeah, they opened that fucking door wide open as if the camera was in the door and they got right down to crotch level. And there was Rat doing his thing. God, I had fun that fucking day.
Yeah. And the fact is the way it's set up, and this is why it's not forced humor, because he's like, they're going to see us. And you're like, no, they're not. I'm just some guy sitting in an old shitty car getting whatever. And before he can finish, he's like, what? Like, that's my favorite, because he's like, what is he talking about?
Down. Play the game.
Good. So
can't get caught, can't get busted.
So good. So good. And like, and it, again, what makes good humor on Sons of Anarchy? Totally different personalities. Two different personalities. Rat is trying to like prove himself. He's trying to be like the good guy.
Well, that's the truth. And the first scene that we didn't really talk about, but the dialogue coming out of his mouth about my mom and my dad.
Oh God, yeah, that was already there. That's when you guys are watching it.
Very first scene, and I remember as Tig going, "Well done, like
well done,
good job, son."
And again, remember, this is so cool for us too. And I forgot about that scene. I thought that came later. We're trying to define who Rat is. You don't know him. This is 7th season. Everybody's established.
Well, can I ask you a question? Because you'll know the answer to this, because I know nothing. Season 4, arguably your big season.
Sure.
The whole hanging thing, the cocaine, the crack, the whole thing, the miles, all that. Nico and Chris Reed, they were big. They were in it. Those prospects were in it.
Played Russian roulette.
And yeah, all that, like fucking great shit. And then they kind of went away. And then Chris Reed fucking dies. Yeah. And all of a sudden, where'd Nico go? Well, now he's back big. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what the sad reality is? It took Filthy Phil to go. He filled
Reed
a void.
Was so fucking great on that fucking show, man.
Think about this. That humor that you played out in that scene.
Yeah.
There's no one else in the club it can play out with.
No.
There's no one left.
It's Rat.
Right. There's no one there. Like, even if it was Juice, you can play it with Juice and then it would be a fight after it. Right.
Yeah.
It would be like a wrestling match in the car, which would be funny. But like, there's no one, you can't do it with Bobby, you can't do it with Chips, you can't do it with Tappy, you can't do it with anybody. Right. No. So he really came in to fill that void of like the newcomer, which Juice used to be.
Yeah.
The guy who Juice bait in prison, like he came in. So what you start to see is characters are somewhere, then they go somewhere and someone comes in and fills that void.
So true.
So true. So good. So yeah. And that stuff he did originally where he's like overtopping Tig. Yeah. What I love is when he said the thing about your mom and then this, and Tig's just like, good for you. That was a good one. I would have came up with that.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Yeah. Marks and Jacks. That's an interesting scene, right?
I hate it though, because I don't hate anything really except for Putin right now. But honest to God, we've seen this scene 100 times on the show. And fucking Marks, he's great. Charlie's great. It's not about them but we've seen the fucking scene. So I think it was a writing device of reminding us about Marks, about the deal that we have with the Irish, with Connor. Let's remind the whole audience. So what do? Let's have the two boys talk. And then what do we do at the end? The Marks goes, "You're learning, son." Right. Mr. Pope, but you're learning. And behind Charlie's eyes, he's smoking in every scene. He's going to Marks in his head. You have no fucking idea what I'm doing right now.
I'm going to kill everybody.
I'm killing everybody.
And we surely do.
And we surely
do, because that's when the salt will start being thrown like it's a fucking ice, like ice is on the street.
One more thing too. I got to bring this up. So at the end, Gun King, just survival, man, all that shit. Marks tries to tell Jax about how anything stupid on the streets, we could get all this heat. What? We just shot Roosevelt. Yeah. One of the biggest cops in the entire, we just blew him away. And a doctor's been murdered with a fork. What, now by killing a gang member, we're going to bring a lot of heat to the street. Where's the fucking heat right now?
Yeah. And let me tell you something else that bothered me about that scene, because you and I know production budgets. Whatever each episode costs, whatever, right? Whatever millions you're putting into an episode.
Yeah.
Did you need to have 600 guys in a crew building a building to do that scene? Or could you have just done it on the side of a road and saved about 30 grand that you've put to all that, this big scene that you constructed at a construction site? You would have saved a bunch of money. Now I get what you're doing, but you could have easily did that same scene outside of an office building and then put the money elsewhere. Again, I'm not saying that, especially in 7th season of Sons of Anarchy, FX, everybody's spending a lot of money, but that was something we dealt with a lot on that show. And it was like, that money's not allocated in the right place for that scene from a producerial standpoint. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think they wanted the show to look bigger and bigger and bigger every season. And that's what they did. Yeah. They spent money on shit like that. They did.
It's not the right place to spend the money.
Correct.
Okay, so Happy's in the Breaking Bad suit. Never seen the show, but he's in that Breaking Bad
suit. Yeah, the zoot suit. Like, what the fuck's going on? I mean,
in the yellow suit, the acid. He's using the acid, and then we see the dude's head who had the fork in it.
Yeah.
What's he's obviously saving the head to. Yeah. Okay.
It's been put in a box. We're going to send it to someone. I assume it's going to be sent to Lynn. I don't know. Help me out.
It's got to stink, right?
I think.
There's a lot of heads on our show.
A lot of heads. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
a lot of heads missing from the trunk where the head's supposed to be sitting on top of. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all right.
Riding through this world.
Does that happen a lot?
All alone.
They cut people's heads off all the time.
On our show, we did.
Isn't it hard?
Hard. You need a big ass saw or a guillotine. Yeah. Let's go to France in the 17th century.
I mean, do you use a chainsaw? And then if you use a chainsaw, it doesn't like get all over your face and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, Happy would love that. DL wouldn't fight that. Give me one more. I
got some skin in my nose. Let me shoot him.
Let me do it again.
That would be a cool scene. I mean, again, I'm not with the violence, but I mean, sometimes you got to show these things. Okay. So the new sheriff, Althea, sheriff meeting with Unser. She's great.
Annabeth Gish. Annabeth comes onto our fucking show. You probably knew her from before. I knew her name. I don't watch.
I knew her name. I don't watch what she was on. I the only reason I knew the X-Files, I did a movie with the creator of the X-Files, Chris Carter, and it's when the X-Files was in full swing, and they were doing the movie and stuff. So I know she was on the X-Files.
Okay.
And a million other things.
But you nice to have her on set. She was great.
Heavy task. You're coming into Sons of Anarchy to be the new sheriff on the show that is literally a freight train at that point.
More testosterone flying around than any show in the history of shows at that point.
Egos are through the roof. Things are changing. I mean, literally, tension is through the air. It is the biggest show. I mean, she's coming into something going, I've been on TV for 20 years. I ain't ever
seen not this. Not like this.
Not like this. So good for her. And her first scene, besides the walkout, is with good old Unser, right?
Good old Wayne.
You know, two things that stuck out to me from that scene: the consultant investigator. Obviously, he gets a kick out of being the consultant, right? And he asks about Tara, which is confusing to her, but he wants everything on Tara. And then she's looking for Juice. So again, this is always good as an actor on the show when they're talking about you and you're not in the scenes, because that means like your stuff's not going to get cut.
Do you realize that when I did Dracula in Atlanta, when Dracula, and he only makes about a 20-minute appearance in the entire play, but every minute that Dracula isn't on the play, they're talking about him.
It's great.
So it's the greatest thing ever. So keep going. Yeah. I mean,
it means that like, that it's important, because you and I have been subject to storylines where, they're kind of throwaways, and you would film the scene and then it's not in the show. And you're like, I knew it wasn't that important. Right. But it was a cool scene, but it didn't make it. When people are talking about you and you're not on camera, that your stuff's going to be there and your work's going to be there.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. It was a great scene for them, by the way.
Yeah. Good scene. Really good.
Gemma with babysitter and kids. I forget, the babysitter's the one who hit Tig's bike, but I can't remember her name.
Her name's Brooke in the show, and her real name is Haley McFarland. Okay. Haley is the actress. playing Brooke. And fuck, did she have a nice big part in the end? She did 13, 14 episodes, I think.
Wow.
I mean, and we didn't talk about it last shit, huh?
Who would have known from coming
in?
known?
And we didn't talk about this, but there was a nice little look before the party that
Chucky.
Rat gives her.
Rat.
Little Rat gives her a little like smile, and you go, "Oh, I wonder if that's going to go anywhere." By the way, was Dom in that first show last week?
No, he's in the finale. He corrected everybody on Twitter.
Oh, he's in the finale.
He's in the finale. He's not in the first episode.
I really didn't want to go back and look to see if I could see.
No, I wasn't going to do that. So he said on Twitter that he was in the finale. So and I think he would know. Okay. So
well, he didn't fucking know anything about when he was on it in the first place. So why would he know now?
That's true.
Anyway, we'll leave that for,
Here's the one thing that I was thinking about when Gemma was with Brooke. She really fucked this whole family up. She really fucked this whole family up. Like Thomas, Abel's questioning, like, where's mom? Where's dad? The baby doesn't know what's up. I mean, she's fucked everything up from day one.
I wonder, because Kurt is married to Katie, because Kurt, a year before we started filming, came to John Landgraf and a bunch of other studios with this idea. Kurt's one thing that I know he did say was, my wife is playing Gemma. And I don't know what kind of, wait a minute, what's going on from that show on what? Katie Seagal, great actress, but Gemma? Okay.
Yeah.
So no one could have done Gemma like Katie did Gemma. There's no argument.
No other person, right?
There's no other person that could have played Gemma. But I gotta know. And if we get Katie on this fucking show, man, I'm telling you what, and I miss her, but I wonder if Kurt told her everything. I wonder if Kurt told her.
She told me no. She told me no.
She told us no, didn't she?
Yeah, when we were spending a lot of time together in season 7, I would say,
come on.
I wonder how this is going to turn out. And she was like, me too. And I was like, come on.
You're
Pillow
right.
talk.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
nobody's talking. She was like, no, he doesn't say anything. And she said, because he was changing shit all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, he would. And, I've talked to Charles about this a lot.
Charles Murray. Yeah.
Yeah. Is not to be confused with Charles Barkley, as you say.
Yeah.
Paris Barkley.
Or Charles Hunnam. Yeah.
Charles Hunnam is. Charles would tell me that, especially when he show runs, because he show runs a ton of stuff, right?
Sure
like a lot of time the writers write the episode and then, the showrunner changes it. And they keep some of it, maybe parts of it, but a lot of time they change everything. Kurt wrote every word on that show. Every word on that show is Kurt. So if you remember, we were getting pages like hot off the press, like literally day of filming. Like, oh, here you go.
The morning of filming. We'd walk
morning
in.
Of, and you're like, oh shit. Okay. Anything that has changed so dramatically that I gotta really. So I don't think he told her.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Getting back to what you just said, Gemma Teller has fucked everything up.
She's fucked it all up. She really has. I mean, I can't think of a more devastating character. Like
Mommy went to heaven.
Yeah.
All that shit she's trying to say to Abel there. Like, Mommy went what?
Clay's doings pale in comparison to Gemma Tellemaro.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Jury.
Yeah. Jackson Jury. Indian Hills.
Yep. Indian Hills. Jack's telling him the plan. It's bloody, right? Why would anyone want to follow this plan when he's telling him? Because basically what he's telling him is, I'm going to execute everyone. And then I'm going to take on this kingpin. Then I'm going to torture him and I'm going to execute him. You down? You want to do this?
I couldn't agree more. And I did put down like some of the just really bad dialogue. I'm sorry. There's just some really bad dialogue between Jury and fucking Jackson here. And it was windswept. Bobby's hair was everywhere. Everyone's hair was everywhere. I would have had a nightmare day. I would have had to make sure that my nose
Thank God
into the wind. The wind's going to go one way, because if it goes the other way, I'm fucked. I can't see my eyes, my cheekbones, they're gone.
Yeah, your hair. They would have had to put bobby pins all over it.
Oh, it would have been bobby pins everywhere.
They got to hold it down. Your hair would have been like,
I would have written myself out of the scene just because of the wind.
I know. You would have been like, I'm in the car. Something's going on.
I'm in the car.
No.
Anyway,
It's hard to act in heavy wind. So I just did in this movie I was just doing in New Mexico, that one I just finished. We had it so bad with the wind, like so bad. And we were on like in the middle of the desert. So your eyes were just covered in sand and you can't hear.
I like it.
The kid was like 2 feet away from me, the other actor, and we couldn't hear each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, so I said, I have to address this wind in the scene. I have to address it. So I made up a line where I was like, what the fuck is this? Right. Like, and I,
no, you gotta,
because it wouldn't play out. Anyone would watch it and go, that's some heavy wind there. So yeah, I don't.
Wouldn't the characters comment on how heavy that fucking wind is?
Yeah, they should have. So, okay. So he tells them the plan. Now we go to Nero and Wendy.
One more thing. Jury goes, where does it end? No shit, Jury. No shit. Where does it fucking end? Well, Jackson's about to fucking talk.
And one other thing, now that we're not moving on yet. The other thing is we introduced these 2 guys who are going to help out.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. First of all, big question. Why?
Well, because we find out why in the last scene.
Guys.
Yeah, but I didn't know that one of them was Jury's son.
Well, don't ruin the fucking ending yet.
All right. But I didn't know who they were.
But you got these 2, as they would call them on our show, Peckerwoods outside their truck.
Peckerhoods.
Peckers, right?
Peckerwoods with hoods on. Yeah, you
Peckerwoods with hoods. You got them outside the car. Are you saying we couldn't get 2 more sons? Are you saying that we really needed 2 people who are going to be accessories to a massacre who we don't know?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
We couldn't just tell, can we get 2 guys from
Indian Hills is down to 1 member.
Where's Montez? Sure. Where's like, come on.
Where's Quinn? Where's all those guys?
Quinn? Stupid, shoehorn move. Stupid. Okay, whatever. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you with this next scene, Nero and Wendy. It was nice to see them together. I fucking zoned out. That was the longest scene in the history of Sons of Anarchy.
Okay, now before we get there, you skipped over something that we need to.
What?
The scene just before that is, me and Nico on the hood of the car. Yeah.
No, that's after it, bud.
Okay, so Nero and Drea. Okay, talking about.
Don't. If you're gonna say that the phone thing was there, is that the phone scene?
Yeah,
that's my favorite scene in the show.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That was there.
Yeah, it's right. It's right. It's right.
You know what? It's funny. I didn't even write it down because I was fucking laughing so hard.
Right.
Please.
So before
I say, please tell me about it.
So forget about that first scene that Nico and I had where, get your head down here and that was funny. This one is my fave because he had no idea what I was going to do with that fucking phone, pressing it on his face. It wasn't scripted that way. It wasn't. It was like I was supposed to say, "Where are we?" And he says, "No." I just fucking put that, and it was like when you have whipping cream and you push on something. Yeah. It was one of those, and Nico played with it, man. He fucking hated it, and he played with it, and you can see the look on my face. I'm going, God, I'm having a good time.
Oh, you know what sells that scene? And because I didn't even write it down because it's
black
literally
shirt.
My favorite scene. When you go, did you get that? And here's the other part. You're not just pushing it to his ear. You're pushing it in his face and the phone sideways. And what I love that Nico did, what Rat did in that scene, and it's so rare that you work with actors like this, where they go, where you're going to go. Like I tell a lot of actors, like, I'm going to go and you got to go with it. Right.
Yeah.
What he did was he tried to keep talking. He was like, it's at, and he kept going. And like a lot of actors just don't have that ability to kind of keep doing that and make and play into the dance. And that's why those things.
He did. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. And good for you.
And I was so over so many things at that point as Tig, like I was so over everything. But man, to be on a little Nico Island, like a little juicy Tig Island, those islands are so fun. It's just the 2 of us, and it's humor. And so let's do it. And Nico played along. He was great.
And again, it's you two out there. The way people have to understand, it's you two out there. There's only 2 chairs set out. It's just you two. You guys are the focus. You guys are the thing. And it's like the whole crew's there for you two. They're not there for 11, 14, 17 people. They're there for you two, and they want to get it. So when you can have some fun and really create an incredible moment. And again, for any young actors watching this, I mean, you know, Michael Caine talks about this in his book, right? Removing all the punctuation, but it's also like, that could easily just be a scene of you going, yeah, hey, did you get that? Like that could be the scene, and sure, it's fine. And then there could be what you guys did. And that's
Billy Gerhardt shot that as a master, a 2-shot, right? And as you know, and you said it before, Billy's come from the camera. He was a camera operator. He was a focus DP, and now he's a director, does it all. Billy knew we had it in the master. We did no coverage, just like, that's it, we're done. Just one more close up on Kim talking to Chibs, and we're moving on. Because he didn't want to give the editors any cutting. He knew that improv little spliff between Nico and myself was so funny.
Yeah, don't give them an option.
We're moving on.
So we go to Nero and Wendy. And again, just to get back to this, it has nothing to do with the actors. Let me tell you, because I think they're both phenomenal. I can't.
I wrote down.
I can't. I came back for the end when they got out of the car. Like when I say I came back, like I went to my phone. And when I go to my phone, I'm zoned out. I went to the phone because I was like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. So I'm listening to them talk. And then when it kept going, I went, okay, let me see what's going on.
No, God bless them both. But it was about 52 minutes long, that scene. And we've had a couple of them already now. And Jimmy's got a really nice car, but he's had some conversations with Jax in that car, with Gemma in that car, with Wayne Unser in that car. Yeah. And now we have Drea. So where's my turn? Where's the get juice in there?
Yeah, it's like a late night skit where you ride in the car and like do karaoke. It's like it's just like everybody at one point should have been in that car. That would have been fun.
That would have been
did
fun.
Press in Nero's car with each actor. That would have been fun. Okay, so Tig and Rat meet up with the crew, and come on, man. Millions are dead. Literally, everybody's dead. It's giant stunts. And I wrote, I'm glad I wasn't there. What? There's so much
and then I wrote, we didn't miss one shot.
Sharpshooters.
We're all sharpshooters.
American sniper.
We're American snipers. And the other guys missed every single shot because none of us even got winged. No. Not even a scratch.
It's the A-team.
Really?
The Baracus. You remember the show?
That's where we're at.
The A-team used to like go back in that Mr. T show, right? With George Papard that I used to love. They'd get in these massive shootouts and no one would get hit. And I was like, is this the gang that can't shoot straight? In our case, we are basically MI6 at this point with the way we shoot. It's like MARSOC, which is the specialty unit of the Marines. And the other guys have never handled a gun before in
their lives.
So you're doing that day. Can you just?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. They when they went off with Jax and Chibi in the back of the truck, they told the rest of us, see you in about 5 hours. Go to In-N-Out if you want. You can play checkers in your trailer. You can smoke cigarettes, Coatsy, whatever you want to do. We'll see you in about 5 hours. And Tommy did not want to go because he knew it was going to be mostly his stunt guy, but he went because he's a fucking trooper. And they used his face a couple of times, yelling and screaming. He had to ADR that entire scene, but they did it. They did it. Stunts, trucks falling over.
And you see his stunt guy jump in that bales of hay because that surely ain't Tommy, or it would have been.
That wasn't Thomas.
Hit.
No,
that
wasn't Flanagan.
No. And so you guys basically, were you on location for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys went and had a break while you're on location, which is you can't even really go anywhere.
We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We all rode out there on our bikes. I can't remember if we actually went and got a coffee somewhere, but we're in our duds. We couldn't go anywhere by season 7.
And remember you couldn't ride what you cut on.
No. Oh, no. We never would have ridden with our cut on. But I'm just saying we would have taken some shit off and just gone for a ride. But then what? No. And I wrote down big body count for the Biscuit Gang, hey?
How many people? The
Biscuit
Gang. How many people? Yeah.
I don't know. A lot. They're counting.
They call them they came up with a new name. It's what was it? The Reaper. I'm fucking terrible at this.
For the Biscuit Gang?
The Biscuit Crew, the Biscuit Gang came up with a Reaper thing.
For themselves?
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm terrible, but they came up with it. It's basically something to do with Reaper. But they have a new name and they're tracking.
Oh yeah, no, Fee did, or one of the girls.
Yeah, something good. Yeah, something good.
Cool.
Something cool. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm tired.
We're 142 years old between the two of us.
I'm exhausted.
You're 42 and I'm 100.
Yeah, literally Nosferatu. So here's the thing. That is going to add, they better make sure that pen's working, because this probably added what? How many people we murder here? 13?
18 maybe?
18.
I'm just
18
guessing.
people.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No DNA?
No.
Okay. Sure.
And where are we going to put all these bodies?
Sure.
Sure.
Sure
thing.
thing.
Guys, my call time tomorrow. Sure. People we kill. Okay.
We killed 18. Sure. That makes sense. Okay. For a local bike gang. Sure. So, okay. Packing up the bodies and the guns. Jax gets the new guy's address. That's when I knew.
Oh, yeah.
Something was up. Now, again,
I didn't know what it was, though. I couldn't remember.
As the person that does not know what year it is ever, which is me, I did not know yet that this was somehow related to jury. What I thought was, and I'm going to tell you where I was at this point. Oh, they're going to plant the drugs on him. They're going to tell Lynn that these guys stole it. Lynn's going to come in and torture the guys.
Well, at least you would have been on the right bus.
I was getting there.
I wasn't even on the bus.
Oh,
I'm going, what the fuck do they want their address for?
Well, and this shows how stupid I am. When he had the drugs in his pants, I was like, why'd they steal that key of heroin? Like,
yeah, that's a Juice move from season 4.
Yeah, why do you want that? I was lost. Okay. So body count through the roof. And where are we?
Now we go to Borowski.
Yeah,
and Nero.
I gotta tell you. And what's the other guy's name? Oso?
Oscar. His name's Oscar in the show. Ivo Nandi.
Oh, Evo, yeah, he's great.
Evo, great, fucking great. I mean, love that guy. But he's a president of another Mayans faction, like Indian. Stockton. He's Stockton. Okay.
Yep. And he obviously does not like Borowski.
Well, first of all, think about this, right? You're Evo, right? And you've got a 3-hander with fucking Nero and fucking Charlie, Borowski, another Charlie. Jesus, like we don't have enough Charlies on this fucking show.
Could have came up with like something else.
Yeah, right. No, can't. And so
Frank
what
Borowski.
A great day. What a great day, right?
That's a great day. And that was down by my old hood in Eagle Rock. And here's Oscar Oso doing his thing. And again, with 2, legendary actors. And again, they have tension. There's a lot of tension there between them.
A lot of tension. And he goes, I'm going to take it to the table and I'll get back to you. That's how the scene ends. All right. Well, we got some info. It was nice to see a different face talk. Sure. That was fun.
Sure. Unser at TM.
Yeah.
With Gemma. Obviously, they wanted to add, I guess, Chucky's trying. Where did that come from? He's trying to protect Gemma.
Yeah. He's now her bodyguard.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, but you get it, son. Whenever Chucky's on now, he's either in France or he's a bodyguard or he's a poet or he's making chili. It's a ruse. He's just part of the family tree. That's it. No more, no less. And Michael loved every fucking day he was on set.
Yeah, and he was so good at it. So good at it. So Unser tells her, which by the way was a really funny segue, and I got to give props to the writing, where it's like I spent the whole night tied up, bound and gagged in my bathtub, and she goes, "Wow, that sounds
interesting."
Sounds interesting. And then he says by Juice, and her face drops, right? Like everything drops
right off her face. Shit. Her face dropped right off her face.
Her face dropped off her face. She's like, "Oh shit." Juice can't obviously keep himself hidden from anyone.
No. And I literally wrote down for a second there, she was ready to hear Juice had told him everything. about what she's done, but he didn't.
Yeah. And I think and at that point, he's probably the best person that Juice could have told, because he probably would have kept it secret because of his love for Gemma, but whatever.
Oh, very good point.
Right.
I never even thought of that.
If there was
no wonder we're talking about this fucking show. How many times has this show taken a turn to the right when we all wish it would have taken a turn to the left?
Yeah.
If you would just have told the fucking truth. Nero just talks about telling the truth. If we would just tell the truth, we wouldn't be where we anyway, but we wouldn't also have a show in 7 seasons.
Yeah, if Woody would have went straight to the police. Okay, so then the boys are on the move. I gotta say something about this, which I love. This is after the whole thing. I guess it's jury and everybody pull out.
Yeah.
And it leaves a few of the guys. Did you see how much fucking dust was in there?
Yeah.
Like if you're in that scene and that dust kicks up, you're just like, fuck me, right?
And why the fuck wasn't I in that? Like, where did
you guys
fucking
go?
Pig? Where's Nico? We back doing fucking blowjob? What are we doing? What's happening?
You guys went for In and Out or something?
In and Out, like what? Burgers? What?
Yeah, probably.
Weird.
Again, and you and I've been there during the 7 years where we'd read it and go, "Oh,
well, we should be there, or we shouldn't be there."
I would say that sometimes. I'd be
like,
I
know you did.
Hey, you don't have me in the scene. I would be there, and then they'd call back and go, "Oh yeah, we're gonna add you in." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, why did I say anything? I don't have any like no, don't add me in. I just wanted to fuck." I was just like, I was there 2 minutes ago, and I'm gonna be there in a minute. Like, why am I not there?
Yeah, no, it made no sense. I wasn't.
Yeah,
couldn't figure that out.
That's an AD problem. Okay, so Gemma and Hunter in the trailer, and here we go. She finds the paperwork. He looks like he's dead. I thought he was dead for a second, or he did something.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna hit the life alert, but like he fell and couldn't get.
No, we thought he was dead for sure.
I mean,
but no,
and he side or something. Why do you sleep? He was sleeping like his arms hanging up. Look, he was dead. So, and I don't want to see Hunter like that. So she finds all the paperwork, and then he's back on with the police.
Yeah. So what? Here we go. She found out. She's not happy.
But it only raises the stakes because all the Tara stuff's in there. It only raises the stakes of him just seeing Juice.
That's right.
So now she's angry.
She's really angry. Yeah. And I didn't know she was going to cry there. I wasn't sure what was going on there with Gemma. But she was doing something. She felt something. There was something going on.
Betrayal?
Probably.
Betrayal.
Let's just go with betrayal. She wasn't thinking about forks.
But or like, I'm up Schitt's Creek.
Probably.
It's like when people say you're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Why do you want to?
Why would you want to paddle?
Why would you want to paddle if you're up Schitt's Creek? You're in no hurry to get the shit, are you?
Like, you're already in the shit.
You're in the shit. So what the fuck does it matter?
Maybe you need the paddle to get out of the shit creek.
Maybe. Without a paddle, so you can turn around and get the fuck out.
Shit's gonna come onto the boat. Shit's coming into the boat.
Yeah, on your paddle. And if you're DL, you're splashing on yourself so you can do it again.
Splashing the shit all over.
Want another take.
All right. Well, Gemma goes in, hits Juice. He's not very alert, by the way. And here we go, right? This is a scene. And I remember this scene. This was a scene.
I wrote down, okay, everyone is sleeping, called Juice. Okay, sit down with Gemma and Juice. Gemma opening up to Ortiz, I wrote down, about her giving up the Asian guy to Jax. Gemma tells Juice to get out, go to Dad's. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she gave him $4,300. It's a lot of money.
43. There's something that's on the internet the other day about how Sons, we owed like $3 million and Ron's got seen where I got $48 in my wallet. Does that help?
Yeah.
We were always broke. We had no money. So
$4,300
is a lot of money.
Somebody give me $4,300 right now. I can go start a new life. Like I can hide out in like Maine or something. I would like literally get in a I'd be fully set up with $4,300. But he seems to be confused by it. Like he's like, oh, I have money in the shop.
You get a fresh burner. Get out.
Hey, fresh phone, and he had money.
Yeah.
Go. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out.
He can't do it. But we'll get to that. But I'll tell you another thing that was really interesting. I have the stubble on the hair. Again, shout out to Tracy. They did a real close, tight shot on that.
I don't know
tattoo.
how she continued to do that, Anderson. I don't know how she did it, Trace.
She hand painted that
My
tattoo
God.
on. She did it well. She had a
She's
stencil.
got to be a little bit tired about that now. By now, like, please shave the head.
And tells him about Unser working with the cops, and basically says, "Pack your shit.
Yeah, go get the dabs.
Get out of here."
And you do. Jack smoking again. Juice driving.
Crew's meeting up. Yeah, Lynn is freaking out. Gives Jax a deadline. Juice is driving. Is he
Yeah,
leaving town?
I mean, did you see?
Oh, and then he calls Chibs.
Yeah. Like I said, Juice is driving. He calls Chibs, who answers, but you don't say anything. I wrote down strange little scene. So what was going on behind there for you, Theo?
It was supposed to show like.
Were you like going to reach out to someone like a club member, like Chibi was your guy? Like, were you going to say something to him or what?
He says something great earlier. He has no plan. He has nothing. Juice has nothing. And in his mind, it's like, maybe I can make this right. Because he doesn't. It's almost like when I tell people, like, thank God acting worked out because I don't have any discernible skills, right? It's like Juice has no, like, thank God, right? Because if I think Juice is like, wait a second, if I'm not in the club, like, what do I do? What do I become?
Well, we have talked about how the club was your family. It really was Ortiz's family. And that's the only family he fucking had. We find out he had a sister, your dad. We find out a little bit about him, but he's gone. Anyway, that was it. That was everything to you, the club.
And I think that's why people sympathized with him so much.
No doubt.
You know, like he didn't have anything else at all. And so he calls Chibs because Chibs was his connection in a way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lynn's freaking out, gives Jax the deadline.
Oh, and one more thing. I just want to see how Billy set this scene. If you guys looked at it, which you did, obviously, because you're listening to us knuckleheads talk about it. Charlie and the boys were on the curb. Lynn came below them. It made us look so big, so tall. But the guy playing Lynn, I forget his
Henry Lynn.
Oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah. He's
just
in 911 now.
He's so fucking good.
Yeah,
and
great.
He looked up 42 feet to those guys and went, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah,
I'll fuck you up hard.
Yeah.
If you don't get to the bottom of what's going on here.
Yeah,
anyway,
this is it. It's happening now or never. So Jax and those guys who help, like, he goes to the house where those guys are. And again,
well, I said, sorry, Theo, but I said, Bobby, who is, I don't know, the one moral compass heartbeat away from getting Jack.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
So I just wrote down, so Bobby now is full-fledged down Jax's dark yellow red brick road. Red as in blood, brick road. Bobby's just going along. Wizard of Oz, we're just going to go along with all this now. I thought that was so fucking strange, and I'll bet you.
Here we go down the red brick road. What's that?
Yeah, the yellow brick road. Yellow brick road.
What is the? Yeah. How does it go? You know.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, and the yellow brick road. Yeah, all that shit. But
red brick road.
But I just went. It's yellow, but I put down red because of all the blood.
Obviously Bobby's the lion.
He's the lion. He's the lion. Fuck, that's so good. That's so good. Chibs is the Tin Man.
Yeah.
I'm the Scarecrow.
Definitely.
You're a bit of the Scarecrow.
I'm not even there anymore. I'm out.
Charlie's Dorothy. Okay. Anyway, look, you're out.
I'm out. I'm not there.
You are out, actually.
I was gone. So the kids playing video games, they obviously look like they're, they seemed more innocent in their home setting. Like I was like, are they crystal meth heads or like what was going on?
Yeah.
And then they kind of come in, and when he gave them, I got to tell you, I really went on the ride in this scene, because then they gave him the money, and I was like, oh, he's giving them the money, and then they're going to leave. I have no idea what's fucking happening.
No, forgot all about it.
They're going to leave and then call Lynn from outside, and basically do what Wesley Snipes did to me in True Story, where it's like, hey, I think I know who killed your brother. And I was like, oh, they're going to tell Lynn, and then they're going to come in and say, the money's there, the drugs is there. These are the guys who did it. But God, was I wrong. It's a fucking massacre.
It's a massacre. Yeah.
And it's a lot of spinning plates with this Jack's plan. I mean, you're covering up murder all the time.
Yep. Music's blasting. We just killed 2 more innocent kids. They're out. They're gone. Bobby's there. Chibs is there. No one's happy.
Tig and Happy have their little burial joke.
Oh yeah. Is that coming up now?
It's right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're running out of room out here. I know 1,000 places to bury bodies. Of course you do. That might have been my favorite line of the entire season for me.
Yeah.
Of course you do. Then Juice is gonna cry.
What was that woods?
Griffith Park.
Oh, it was? Cool.
Griffith Park.
That's where I did the hanging thing with Juice.
Yeah, Griffith
That's
Park.
cool.
There's some beautiful shit up in there.
Yeah,
man.
they did. Yeah, it's cool.
And they gave it to us at nighttime. They were very kind to us. They said, yeah, we'll shut a couple of roads down. In fact, we'll make it so hard for you guys to actually find the location. Kim Coates will lose his mind. And I did. And poor Charlie and Tommy were in the van when I lost my fucking mind. And they never want to see me lose my mind. I lost.
Oh, when you can't find the location, I'm like, would it fucking tell you guys to put up a yellow sign?
And we're all on bikes, so we can't be checking our phone anyway.
You know why they stopped doing that, right?
Doing what?
They made it so hard to find the sets.
Yeah, so people wouldn't come and follow us and be on set.
They were following us all the time.
Oh, of course. We had people coming. Oh, don't get me.
That was like during the 50 Shades stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie.
They were following us all the time. Yeah, that was when, like, literally, if they found where the set was, and it used to be all under these names.
Oh, TMZ, they were all behind us.
Fox 21, like they would put all these weird names on the yellow signs. And you know, like now, right? How do you get a kick like when you're driving around LA? Because I don't see it here, but if I'm in, Atlanta or New Orleans and I see like those yellow signs, I'm like, oh, somebody's filming. That's cool, right? Because you see them all the time.
Yeah.
And some just have like the name of the movie where it's like, oh, this is a TV show filming. And because
Theo Rossi starring in it.
Yeah, they don't care like as much. But if you put Sons of Anarchy on a sign or SOA,
no, you're done.
It's over.
Yeah.
So Kim Coates can't find the location.
Oh, Kim Coates was not fucking happy one night, let me tell you. Anyway, Griffith Park, Juice is crying.
Yeah, Juice can't leave. He can't leave. The scene was really dark. I didn't know what they wanted. It was a harken back to the panic attack when he had the sunshine on his chest and he falls against the door.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted from it. And then Jury finds the guys. And I just wrote in giant letters, one is his son. I fucking forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I had not a clue until it happened.
If you would have told me you're going to lose your life if you don't guess this, I would go, just take my life.
Take my life now.
Because I would have never.
Put me up that shit creek. Don't give me a paddle because I don't have a fucking clue.
No paddles. Happy as my co-pilot on the fucking shit creek.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I did not.
No.
And again, this is going to set up. Jury was John Teller's buddy.
Yeah. No, and he's part of our club. He's an SOA president.
And he's
of Indian Hills.
Isn't he first 9?
He's first 9.
Oof.
What the fuck are we doing on this show?
What are we doing? So now Gemma and Nero with Jax. He's home to see the boys. Jury knows everything. Jax drops the tear. Good on Charlie for that fucking.
Good on Charlie dropping a tear with his boy. Jury with his dead boy dropping a tear. Everyone's fucking crying. Toil and Till. There you have it. And we know why it's called Toil and Till. And if you don't even go there with me. Okay. There's been a lot of digging. There's been a lot of toiling. There's a lot of harvesting going on with bodies. They are dropping everywhere. That's my take.
So a couple of things to clean up before we end this episode. You and I are going to try to do a Q&A this week.
We are doing one on Patreon.
We are doing one.
We are doing one for sure.
Yep. We're doing a Patreon Q&A for everybody.
Coming up. Can't wait.
Yep. We're going to do it this week. Number 2, we are trying to do.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This live episode.
How do we do that?
Okay. We're going to find one that we're going to review, like coming up. I think Dr. Sarah, if you're listening to this, she had the idea. Obviously, we got to go to the Biscuit King, Justin, and ask him how we do this. It was something along the lines of like, we do it maybe on Patreon and they can all join. So Yeah, what we're trying to do is you and I doing this live episode and everyone can join in while it's being recorded. I don't know how we then make it available for Apple and Spotify and all that. So that's the only thing we got
to figure that out. And if we can make that work, we will.
Yeah. So if we can make that work, we will. We just got a bunch of greetings out and then we're going to have some people on.
Yeah.
Some people that we really want who are very significant. Right?
Yeah. Well, I have Bobby Orr had four on his back on his Boston Bruin way back in the day. I'm not a big Bobby Orr fan anymore, but anyway, that's another thing. Yeah. 4 people. Okay. Right now, we're not going to tell you who they are.
Yeah.
But we're ready to jump on some interviews over the next. Hey, we only got 11 shows left.
I know. So we got to get in quick. We got to get
11 left. Gilbert Perot. Love that guy.
Yeah. We're off
Buffalo
the cliff
Sabre.
like Thelma and Louise after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're holding hands and we're driving off.
Ooh, don't make me cry.
Don't make me cry.
Don't you do it. Don't you go.
So that's it. This is
Can
it.
I go to my dentist? Can I get my tooth fixed now?
Yeah, go get your tooth fixed.
You
Get out
mind?
of here. I love you.
Love
See
you
later.
more.
Get out of here. Bye.
Love you, buddy. See ya.